So, truck pulled out. I hit the back of it, and from here, I don't ever remember seeing the truck. The last thing I remember is seeing the record truck, the two record trucks in the car. So, the police identified me as I was laying on the road. The police identified me because there was a garbage truck driver that used to work at the shop. He was a mechanic at the shop. The guy's name was Lafayette. And he said he was driving down the road in his garbage truck, you know. He's cruising down the road in his garbage truck, and all of a sudden this guy goes sliding across the asphalt on the road in front of him. And that was me, and as I'm sliding across the road in front of him, he looks down and he goes, "Hey, that's Don." So he stopped. Anyway, they got a hold of my wife. She was home waiting for me to get home for lunch, and she told me that when they called her and said that I had been in a motorcycle accident, she asked how I was, and they told her, "Well, he's not dead," which, well, I wasn't. They took me to the hospital. I remember one of the things, there's very, very little that I remember, but one of the things that I remember is I was laying on a examination table, whatever. And they said, "Okay, well, you're all right. You can go home." And when I went to get up off the table, I couldn't stand up. But they released me. "Oh, you can go home. You're good." I couldn't stand up. So evidently, I am told that they put me back on the table and got another doctor to come in and discovered that I had a severely bruised pelvis and pretty good knock in the head. I couldn't answer questions. What day is it? What town are you in? Who's the president? I couldn't answer any of those questions. Evidently, that part of it I don't recall. The next thing that I recall is I remember my brother being at the house. I've got a 10-second memory of trying to walk down the hallway using a chair to steady myself on. Evidently, my brother had come visit to check on me, which was nice of the guy. He's a very loving person. I love my brother. He's the only one I got. And then I remember, the next thing I remember after that is being at the car dealership working as a service writer. I don't remember going interview. I don't know. I didn't go back to work at the shop because we had some cross words concerning me and health insurance. I fully displayed my arrogance of youth during conversations with Mike, who had been very good to me. Very good to me. I was riding the CBX because of his kindness. But the arrogance of youth sometimes makes you stupid. One thing, when I look in the mirror and see myself, one thing I'm glad, hopefully that arrogance of youth has worn off. Hopefully that's gone. The arrogance of youth is horrible. Anyway, so I went to work at the car dealership. Which I stayed over there for a while. In fact, I stayed over there till they sold the dealership, and then I got a job working at a different car dealership here in Baton Rouge. And then from that dealership was when I got the phone call about my dad being sick, and we ended up moving up to New York State. Anyhow, back to the CBX. I wander. So the CBX got brought to my house. I'm not sure how it got there. I just remember it being under the carport. It caught the frame of the flatbed on the truck. Now, the truck had a box on the back, but it caught the base of that box square in the headlight. It was messed up. I ended up selling it $350. It was, I had no means by which to fix it because I'd been out of work for a couple of weeks, and I had hospital bills to deal with, and I had wife and kids to take care of, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure how long I ended up staying out of work. It seems to me it was a couple of weeks. It might have been more. Don't know. There's a lot that happened in that little period there that I don't know. Which also brings me to some of the other decisions that I made in life, which is, you see, I keep wandering. I'm sitting here thinking about the CBX story, but little pieces of everything, little pieces of your life lead all these different places. And that motorcycle wreck, which didn't kill me, which I'm kind of happy about, it did scratch up my leather jacket, though. And I tell you what, I slid across, evidently I slid across the road when Lafayette, I almost said his whole name. When Lafayette saw me go across in front of his garbage truck, I was sliding on my back, so the back of the jacket was pretty scratched up. And of course, the helmet was a mess. Saved my life. It was a Nava Integral 3 helmet. It was a good one. But some of the other decisions in my life came from a conversation with my dad's doctor and my history. I'll get into that one day. But either way, so the CBX got wrecked, got sold. I went to work at the car dealership. I stayed off of motorcycles for a little while after that, not because I was afraid to get back on, but because I couldn't afford it. Things were a bit of a mess for a little while because it took a financial hit, and I'm still a young guy with wife and kids and trying to work and put it together, and we owned a house and got a house note to pay and all that kind of good stuff. I do have a lot of pictures of the CBX, which I'm really, really happy about. It was an absolutely beautiful machine. I miss it every day. I think if I had it now, well, I'm sure Amy wouldn't allow it, but I think if I had it now, I would try to convince her to get rid of her piano and put my CBX in the piano room. I don't think that would actually happen. But excuse me, but you never know. And of course, taking my daughter for the ride every day when I came home. She was so happy. She'd come running out of the house, and I'd pick her up and put her on the bike and take her down the street and goose the throttle just a little bit so it would kind of push her back against me, She was always so excited about that. It was really cool. Anyhow, so there's the story of the CBX in 2 parts because I still don't have any editing capability. So everything that goes over 9 or 10 minutes is going to be broken into 2 parts. I'll fix that sooner or later. There's a lot of people making a lot of suggestions on how to do it. But, at the moment it is what it is. I'll do whatever I can do. As soon as I pair the, then now you see I'm not prepared. I didn't do it. This new mic stand has a remote to start and stop the camera. And evidently that's got to be paired to the phone to make it work, which I haven't taken the time to do yet. I sat down here this morning for, probably a little over an hour, reading and responding to comments, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you very much. I'm so happy that everybody takes the time to comment. I'm really honored that someone would want to talk to me. So thank you. I appreciate that. I can't answer them all because I'm extremely blessed that there are a lot of them, and just the constraints of time don't allow me to be able to, I still have to work, don't allow me to spend the time with each comment that I'd really like to. I do the best I can. I try to dedicate as much time to you as I can because I want to be respectful of your time, and I know that you've dedicated some of your time to me. And I really do appreciate that. And I don't want anybody to think that I take it for granted because I don't. That's another example of the arrogance of youth being gone. I don't take you or your time with me for granted. Or my time with anybody for granted. because it's important. People take the time to be with you. You should show respect, and you should be honored, which I am, and you should respect their time. All right, well, this second part's a little over 10 minutes. I'm bumping up on not being able to download it and having to do it again because it gets too long. The phone won't send it to the computer. Thank you very much. You saw that? I gotta fix this. The computer screen, there it is. The computer screen goes out. Changes the lighting. Anyway, thank you very much. I certainly do appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your subscriptions. If you would, please don't forget to comment, subscribe, and hit the notifications button. I have, how many videos have I put out there now? Hang on. Sorry, I wasn't, see, I'm wandering again. So I'm not prepared. I gotta wait for the computer screen to change, and it's taking forever. Here we go. I don't know. I've got 27 or 28 videos out there. If you hit the notifications bell, it'll bring them up for you, so you don't have to search for them. So thank you very much. I appreciate everybody. Have a good afternoon.